really kind of enjoying and not enjoying parts of it. I think they thought this was going to be a big vacation for them. And I'm happy to say that they're very engaged, they're learning, and they're adapting. And I think everybody really just pulling together to make this all happen. Also, special thanks to Jonathan for making the Zoom thing work for us tonight, the public, and for us, that everybody can feel comfortable having a meeting.
I agree with them as well. The ability to get online and actually pull it together as fast as you have is pretty astonishing. Congratulations to pretty much everyone involved, teachers, staff, admin, everyone in the group here. It's pulled together very, very quickly to actually put us online in roughly 3 days. Thank you all.
Just what they said, it's impressive that we're all here and managing to pull this together. And apologies for that. I'm putting on a hat. Last time we were here, my feet got really cold, so I brought a hat. All the heat escapes here.
And your feet. Okay, no comments from me. Superintendent report.
Thank you, Madam President. If I may, just as I'm watching a little bit of comments, if you would remember talking to your speaker.
That's what I was actually going to say.
And that'll be helpful for all of us. I'm going to save my comments for the update portion. Really, all I wanted to speak about this was COVID. I did want to make just one brief announcement, if I may, because I think it's always good to have good news in a difficult time. And we received news today that one of our administrators received a California statewide award from the Association of California School Administrators. So if you think of the 1,000 school districts and then how many high schools are there, of all of those high school principals in the entire state, Mr. Matthew J. Bell won the award for the Secondary Administrator of the Year for California for AXA. And I could not think of someone who's more deserving after all the years in this district as a teacher, an administrator, as a parent, a community member, and we're extremely proud of him. He'll be receiving his award in November, and so just really happy that he's here with us. And he's here in the audience just for the moment because I wanted him to hear this announcement, and he heard about that today. So I wanted to let the board know about that, and whoever else is listening, we're very, very proud of that.
Moving on, PGUSD staff comments, non-agenda items. We have somebody coming to the podium.
I missed the opportunity last meeting to say this, but as is my usual custom, when you look on the board package, you'll see certificated and classified assignments, and you'll see retirements on those. And usual to read your own name. I want to take this chance to thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks a lot. Before we keep going here, I would just like to get a feel for who's online. Do we have a number of people?
47.
47. Okay. Thank you all for joining online. I think it's great that we were able to get this together so far. So thank you to Jonathan. Okay, we'll just keep moving on here. We have individuals desiring to address the board. We will still be allowing this. Of course, it's online. Trustee Swanson will be reading those comments, and we will do our best to answer everything that comes through. These are non-agenda items, so if you have a comment about an item that is on our agenda for tonight, I ask that you refrain and wait for that item. Otherwise, I will go ahead and open the public comment section. And Brian, whenever you have a question that you'd like to pose. Question or a comment? Sorry, I missed the piece about public comment on any item interest to the public that is within the board's jurisdiction will be heard. We will allow no more than 3 minutes for each agenda item, and the total public comment on each item is 20 minutes. The public comment will be allowed on each specific action to board thereon. The Brown Act limits the board's ability to respond to public comment. They may choose to direct items to administration at a future agenda. So I wanted to make sure I did read that because that will apply to this online format as well. So we will not be responding to those comments, correct, Dr. Porter?
So we're looking for something to appear in the chat window, where we are on this, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And,
So-
We'll just wait for a couple minutes in case somebody's having technical difficulties.
I'm not seeing
Okay,
anything yet.
it's okay.
If somebody does want to address the board through the chat window, maybe do a quick little, I have something to say, rather than putting the whole thing in.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe they're typing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple on now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go in reverse order from Larry Hagwitz. Just wanted to say that the online teaching has been going well. Zoom has worked great. I've had almost 100% attendance. From Shannon McCarty. Oh, well. Do we just turn on our mic and talk? No, you have to type in your comments, and then I will do my best to read them. Also from Larry Hagwitz, congrats, Mr. Bell.
If I may, Mr. Medea, it's unmuted right now, so people can chat. Is that correct?
People can chat. We can unmute them. The only issue we are having currently is that the laptop that's hosting the meeting only has one camera, so that's why it's facing you guys, so they can see you, and therefore we could no longer see.
But they can still chat.
And you can still chat.
I just want to make sure that people do that.
Yeah, they can still send in questions that way, and on your devices there, we can unmute the person if you want to hear them. I don't know how that's going to work, but we can try it. She does.
Very hard and many hours. From Catherine Gordon, I agree with Larry. Zoom works well with the high school students, although I have not had its high attendance in my grade level students, but honors classes were close to 100%. From Carrie Serpa, I would like to hear the union president. Well, I can read it if the union president wants to.
Like your what? I'm sorry.
No, I don't know if I understand that. Jonathan, is my mic on my laptop supposed to be on, or are they picking up what I would?
They're picking up through the microphone.
Through this microphone.
Mm-hmm.
On the computer or this microphone?
On the computer.
So they're picking up the audio from what's being
Right.
amplified into that.
Right.
So all the more reason for us to speak into the mic that's going to be amplified and then picked up into that particular laptop. So nothing that I need to do here. Okay. Also from Carrie Serpa, I'm really proud of our district response to helping all the kids, but this is very difficult. Disagree. Larry Hagen says we can you hear me now? Hear me well now? And from Marianne Ford Middle School, teachers are working hard online with Google Hangouts in classrooms, students in touch and enjoying contact and hangouts with each other. Tired teachers.
Was Carolyn Swanson able to get her comment in?
And Carolyn, can you just give us a quick ... if you're typing something, otherwise I think we're going to jump on.
You can always email the district as well with any comments that you might have.
Yeah, we won't get those in this moment.
Yeah.
I've got just a couple more here, and I don't know who this one is from because they're just signed in as an iPhone. But from someone who owns an iPhone, I have loved the daily timed emails as well as the site-specific emails at 4 p.m. Several friends with high school students say they have not received the 4 p.m. site-specific email from Mr. Bell. Can we hear if he's been sending them?
He has been. They've been being sent out, and I believe either Mr. Steinbach or Mr. Bell send them. So probably best to email Mr. Bell, let him know, and see if there's a technical problem on the emails. But they've been getting.
Okay. One other thing, Jonathan, the people who are on their own laptops or devices at home, they can't be unmuted and speak, right? The only way for them to communicate is through the chat window and then for us to read it, correct?
No, I can unmute them. If you tell me who to unmute, I can.
Okay. I have a request from Shannon McCarty to be unmuted so she can speak. Somebody asked her.
And this is regarding a individual desire to address the board or regarding one of the agenda items?
I would imagine it would be under staff comments, non-agenda staff comments.
We already went through that one, yeah. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is if it's regarding the agenda item, so if it's specifically about COVID, let's wait until that is coming up next after consent, and then we can open up the mic at that time.
That sounds like a plan. Okay, all right.
Hope that's okay with you, Ms. McCarty. Okay, I'm going to keep moving on then. Apologize for anybody online that's not able to get your comments in. We're going to move to the consent agenda.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just a couple more comments while you were talking there.
I'll zip through them real quick, and again, I don't know who some of these people are. So from PGUSD family member, I'm proud of our district. We really pulled it together. Special education team had 2 days to prep, and we're up and running yesterday. Fantastic team. And Dr. Forrest, did I miss any, or is that?
That's all I got.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Thank you for all your comments. Consent agenda, items are considered routine and may have been discussed on the previous board meeting. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board vote unless a member of the board requests specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent agenda. Is there any comments or questions from the board on the consent agenda items?
Yeah, I would, first, quick comment on Mr. Bell's retirement, which is listed. Also, Mr. Morgan, thank you very much for your years as head football coach, and congratulations to Mr. Marco as well. But I'd also like to discuss or at least understand something about the contract with the Red Sea Security, which we can decline that at some point if it comes to pass that we are not regular.
That's a great question. I probably need to ask Assistant Superintendent Jim Bendiv regarding the contract with that service.
You need to pull it.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the question. So is it 31, page 31?
Yes.
So I'm sorry, what was the question?
Can it be canceled if we don't need it?
See, the start of service.
I think, yes, was May 28th, so I have to see what kind of, notification that we have to let them know ahead. We can ask and find out. this is for May. It doesn't specify here. Sometimes they say 30 days, although we worked with them so many times in the past. They're probably more, they understand the situation. Do that and let the board know.
Would you like to pull it, John?
I don't need to pull it as long as if it comes to it, we are not walking through on the 28th, we're not doing the rest of the night. It's not a fortune, of course, but nonetheless.
We'll find out.
They've been very cooperative with us. I don't think you'll get a problem.
Okay. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I second. So for everyone online, because this is basically an online meeting, all of our votes are going to be roll call. So roll call vote, please, Mandy.
Trustee Crandall?
Aye.
Trustee Dawson?
Aye.
Trustee Pat?
Aye.
Trustee Swanson?
Aye.
Trustee Walton?
Aye.
I pass.
And if you would, Madam President, just so it's on the verbal record, if
Yes.
you could just repeat who moved and who seconded prior to calling the roll call, so the audience will know who that was.
Of course. For the consent agenda, John Path made the motion, Debbie Crandall seconded, and it passed 5-0. Thank you. Okay, we are now to public hearing one, action discussion item A. And this would be Dr. Forrest, please, or Ms. Beatty.
Julie Mankey. This item is for the CSCA sunshine list for 1920. Recommends public hearing for the sunshine topics for 1920.
I'm opening the hearing now. Sorry, Billy, go ahead. You can continue. You don't have to repeat.
Okay. And so this is a copy of the sunshine list was posted at each school site 5 business days before the board meeting. And this coincides with Government Code Section 3457, which provides the basis and procedures for the recognition of the California School Employees Association initial proposal for negotiations with the Pacific Grove Unified School District for the 1920 school year. Public hearing will provide an opportunity for the community to comment on the following. And the first is Article 2, wages. And in order to attract and retain employees, CSCA will propose a fair and equitable pay raise for the 1920 school year, and as well as professional growth and staff development. And then number 2 is Article 3, health and welfare benefits, affordable and adequate coverage for employees for the 1920 school year. Number 3 is Article 4, hours of employment. CSCA will propose language to include the school calendar. And number 4 is Article 15, organizational security, update language to address recent changes in the law concerning agency shop. And then in addition, CSCA has an interest in negotiating the effects of Education Code 45113 concerning the probationary period for classified employees. Senate Bill 328 concerning the later start time for high schools and middle schools, the use of security cameras in and around district properties, updating contract language to remove outdated terms. CSCA reserves the right to add, delete, or modify these proposals as determined through the negotiation process. And then this will impact, I would imagine, is to be determined, yes, to be assessed during negotiations.
Okay. For the hearing, we open up for just board discussion and public comment, correct, Dr. Forrest?
Yes, that's correct. And this is, since this item is brought to, we're just simply representing it for the union. So if there's a union representative who is online watching and is available for questions, you can certainly ask them, but I don't think we'd be able to answer questions on behalf of the
Okay. Well, are there any questions from the board that you want to pose at the moment? Okay. Is there any public comment on this item? I'm going to wait for about 3 minutes to allow comments to be typed.
I'm not seeing any so far.
Okay. Give another few seconds.
Domino's pizza order just came in.
Okay, seeing no public comment, we'll close the hearing. And now we will move on to action discussion A, approval of California School Employees Association Sunshine List 2019-20. Also, Ms. Mankey, I guess there's no other discussion or information you want to add to this?
Correct, it's the same information as what was presented for the public hearing. And we would recommend that the board review and approve the sunshine topics for 1920 with CSEA.
Any board comments, discussion, questions? Is there any public comment on this item? The pigeons have something to say. Any comments?
I see nothing. Wait.
Okay.
Billy, one note, if you're speaking later again, maybe a little bit more on the mic. Be great. Other than that, you're all good, and I see no comments.
Okay. Do I have a motion for this item?
Hold on. Somebody asking how do we make a public comment? You make your public comment through that particular comment window. Chat. There should be, if you're using this at the bottom, there is a chat icon to the right of the share window. It's slightly right of center at the bottom. Yes, that one.
Yeah, either one.
Assuming that public comment is coming through, I'm just waiting for those of you on the line, just so you know what we're doing, waiting for the public comment.
Okay, it looks like we're good to go. I'm going to ask if anybody's actually going to comment on this particular item. Give us a quick 3 dots in your chat window. Otherwise, I think we'll be ready to move on. One last thing. Jonathan, did you see that comment Carolyn had asked? The raise your hand function, is that's something I'm not familiar with Zoom? Do you know anything about that? Is it a way for people to line up or queue up?
I'm assuming that she's raising her hand to speak.
Oh,
Unmuted.
it's not a function of the Zoom app. A raise your hand function.
No, it's built in so that we know that she has a comment to make.
One more second.
They can raise their hand in there and then you can unmute it and then you can speak.
Larry Hagquist, a comment. Is this related to this particular item? Site PGTA rep at the high school asked to add doctoral stipend language to the certificated schedule? No.
No, this is CSEA.
Yeah, okay.
This is CSEA. I'm not sure if you heard that.
Okay.
We're good?
So I think we're good to, yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion, please, for this item?
Take a motion to accept the excuse me.
I second.
What's the motion, John?
To accept the CSCA Sunshine List for 2019-20.
And
I second it.
Mrs. Lawson, second. So that was Pat that made the motion. Trustee Dawson, second. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Crandall,
Aye.
trustee Dawson,
Aye.
Aye.
trustee Swanson,
Aye.
trustee Walton.
Okay, passes 5-0. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the next item, which is also a public hearing of Pacific Grove Unified School District Classified Negotiation Sunshine topic for 2019-20. And I will open up the public hearing. Ms. Mackey, yours also?
Yes. Okay, so this is the district sunshine list, their proposal. And according to Government Code 3457, Section A, the Pacific Grove Unified School District Administration presents or sunshines the following bargaining proposal topics for inclusion in contract negotiations with CSEA for the 1920 school year. The public hearing will provide an opportunity for the community to comment on the following: Article 2, wages; Article 3, health and welfare benefits; Article 6, vacation policies. And with that is to review the language and process for updates and clarification. The fiscal impact is to be determined pending the outcome of negotiations.
Thank you. Any comments, questions from the board? Public comment on PGTA sunshine list.
CSEA.
CSEA?
This is the District 2 CSEA, right? This is the.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is still the CSEA. This is the districts list. We're not discussing the PGTA tonight. Nothing? Okay, seeing no public comment, this time we'll bring it back to the board for a motion, please. You're all very quiet tonight.
Sorry.
You're quiet tonight.
Trying to do many things here. I'm just looking for the wording here, proper wording.
I'll make the motion. I make a motion to approve the public hearing of Pacific Grove Unified School District Classified Negotiation Sunshine Topics for 2019-20.
I'll second.
That was Debbie Crandall. That motion. Brian Swanson, second. And roll call vote, please.
Trustee Crandall,
Aye.
trustee Dawson,
Aye.
trustee Pat,
Aye.
trustee Swanson,
Aye.
trustee Walton.
Okay, passes 5-0. Thank you, Ms. May. Okay, next public hearing. I didn't close the other hearing. Yes, you're done. Thank you. Okay, on to the next public hearing of National Geographic World Cultures and Geography 2017 textbook for 9th grade social studies at Pacific Grove High School. I will now open the public hearing, and this is for Director Ani Silva, Director of Curriculum and Special Projects. Are you online?
Be ready for you momentarily.
Okay. Hold on, everyone, online. We're getting,
Hello. Hi. So I'm like the first one that comes through on this presentation situation on a Zoom. Ani Silva, Director of Curriculum and Special Projects. Hello. Can you hear me? Yes?
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I just want to know, do you have any questions? This is an adoption that's been long coming forward for our geography classes, our freshman geography. Do you have any questions?
Board, any questions or Silva on this item?
I have none.
Bill Walton?
I have one. I know the tradition is for the kids to carry really big books around and stuff. And I was inferring from your good report here that this new curriculum, I mean, it is a textbook per se, but it sounds like it's more interactive
more online learning, given where we're at in the situation today, it seems like that's a good direction to go in, is less large textbooks and more focused on maybe a smaller, thinner, lighter textbook for kids to carry and more online resources. I was just wondering for the public that might not have been the benefit of reading this back, if you could describe a little bit, other than, I know in your description you say the old textbook was over 20 years old. Can you talk about the new textbook more and how is it more interactive or more written word?
Well, based on the information that's been presented, students are able to interact more on it because it's more relative to today's world than the book that they've used in the past. And the interactivity is more related to what's happening in present day. And the activities that are presented are more along the lines of what Freshman Academy is trying to do, which is to bring relevancy to students and to engage them at high levels, which is why this geography platform, so to speak, curriculum is going to speak to that, more of the collaborative experiences with students, as well as the critical thinking that is required of a social studies classroom. Does that make sense? Hello? Can you hear me?
Did that make sense to you, John?
Yes, thank you.
John Path, did you have
I
questions?
do. Dr. Forrest, we're approving the public hearing tonight, correct? We're not actually approving the purchase of this textbook.
Well,
Actually, no approval.
I believe there's Director Silva, is there an action for this item as well to pass it, or currently just the public hearing?
This is just a public hearing. We've had the materials up for a month now for the public to take a look at. And so this is just a public hearing. The decision will be brought forward at a second board meeting for approval.
Thank you.
Okay. Any public comment on this item?
Seeing nothing yet.
Just gonna, while we're waiting, just gonna reread the item so everybody knows what we're doing. This is a public hearing on the National Geographic ninth grade social studies textbooks at the high school. This is just information. Comments?
Seeing no comment.
Seeing no public comment, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Thank you, Director Silva. Okay, moving on to information discussion A. This is the district update on response of COVID-19. Dr. Porras.
Thank you, Madam President. This actually is not intended to be a long item. I just wanted to go over a few things that I think pretty much everyone in the public is already aware of, but just to confirm it. First off, I really have no words to express how grateful I am to the entire district staff. I think the teachers took this challenge on head on and are doing remarkable work for all of us. Our classified staff, many of them are showing up to do whatever work is necessary for our students, and they've just been remarkable, from disinfecting to helping with lunch handouts, whatever it was needed. The administrative staff has been night and day going at it and trying to help as well. And anyway, the entire district has just risen to the challenge. Also, just so grateful for our community. When we were handing out the meal distributions today, a number of parents expressed their gratitude to all of these staff in the district, but also many of them were volunteering, asking how can I help. And so I think at this point, we really appreciate the interest in helping. We don't have anything yet for volunteers to do, but if we need it, we'll certainly send the word out. And so we'll be doing that as well. I wanted to assure everyone that we are in constant contact with the Monterey County School Office of Education, the CDE, the Office of the Governor, and the County Health Office. We're doing conference calls pretty much twice a day. And so they're pretty lined up with the updates that we have been sending out at noon and at 3 o'clock. So when I get information, I just put it right on to those updates. So trying to keep the community as up to speed as we possibly can. And I appreciate everyone's patience, because sometimes some information I get out right away. And we've been getting emails from folks asking to add certain things, which we're doing. The sites are all following up with a 4 o'clock in the afternoon update from the site. Sometimes it's very short, sometimes it's a little longer. Really, those are intended for more site kind of based bits of news. I think between those 3 updates out to the community, we're trying to get everything covered. And I hope that we will continue to be able to do that to the best of our ability. And so that's kind of going on currently. Obviously, we are on remote distance learning as by order of the government. And our teachers and our staff are all considered essential workers for the most part. So when there's need, we'll call someone when we need them. And people, again, have been right on with that. So it's been working really well. So we want to assure the public as well that we're on it. One of the orders by the governor is that we continue to provide meal distributions for basically everyone. Since we participate in the summer lunch program, we've been getting, I think, somewhere upwards of 322 today meals served. We are practicing social distancing. All of the folks distributing the food are wearing masks, gloves. We're trying to make sure that people are safe, but lots of folks coming in. Director Stephanie Lift and her staff and Director Kelly and his staff have just done tremendous work getting those set up. So we'll continue to do that. I do want to make a note, and we'll put this in the update, that our spring break will be coming up. Our return date tentatively is April 13th, which is after the school break. Since the state has said schools are closed for instruction for students, April 8th, which is the middle of our break. So we've extended this out to the 13th, which we put in the update. So we're going to wait to see what happens, and we'll get more direction from the governor. But I do want to let you all know, and the public, that the spring break is coming up. That is a break for our staff and for our students. So we will be taking a hiatus from the instruction that's being given remotely to our students, so that everyone can get a break, and teachers and classified everyone alike, and they'll pick it right back up again after the formal break is ended. So just letting families know ahead of time that not to expect the distance learning instruction coming during that week. Meal services are not required during the break either, so we're not anticipating distributing meals during that week, so that those employees can also take their time off. And we have created a Facebook account for the district, and we're going to start pushing out the updates onto that Facebook page because we don't really have the capacity to consistently monitor that Facebook for comments coming in and out. We still ask the public to continue the email system for us. We'll monitor as we can, certainly, and address it, but we're looking forward to that. And Mr. Mejia, Mr. Director Binder, and the tech staff, they've just been tremendous. These are essentially just a couple of guys that are directing their team, which are about 6 or 7 of the folks at the sites, and they're doing a monumental task, and they're doing wonderful. So in an effort to not overload them, we're trying to stick with the email system to the extent we can, but it's been going good. We're pleased with that. And we're waiting day by day for announcements. I do want to note that we just got the word, CNN just posted that the entire state of California, they used the word lockdown. I just communicated with the county office, and it looks like what they mean is exactly what's already happening in Monterey County. That is sheltering in place. I think that the term is being used perhaps a little bit dramatically. So if anyone saw that, as far as I can tell from the Monterey County office who just emailed me back, it looks like it's nothing more than what we're currently doing in Monterey County. So we'll keep everyone posted on that, but that's the latest word from the health office. I know I'm forgetting people on the thank yous, and just simply want to say thank you. Just been a lot of work. We realize that we are government employees, civil service workers, and but that really doesn't answer to the tremendous work that everyone is doing. So we'll keep at it. Here for our students. We're gonna do what we can do, and appreciate all the input that we're getting.
I have a question, Dr. Porras. We've heard a couple comments tonight about some teachers might be struggling with the at home or online. Are there, what should they be doing? Are they going to their site principal?
Wi-Fi signal?
For our teachers
Oh, yes.
that might be struggling with this.
Yes, we're asking them teachers and staff to touch base with their site administrator, who can then get them the support from the tech staff directly. Our tech staff is still, all the guys are still there listening in and helping individually. So staff would still touch base with the principal, and they would make sure to get the service that we need for our staff member. If a member of the community is having difficulty, again, touch base with the principal first. If they are not able to do that, touch base with us at the district office. They can call me or email me. We'll get them in line with what we need. We do have, the survey came through pretty much almost complete, 100% response to the surveys for tech support and tech needs. Director Binder was ahead of the game, and he was able to get, I think, some 27 or so hotspots that we were able to get ahead before all of the shutdown on getting those mailed out. So we have some for our community members that we're getting those distributed to families who need them. And so that's been working really well. And we've heard here and there from some families who still need some tech support. We've got that out there as well.
Thank you. And this is just maybe you can answer this, maybe you can't. But I know that there was discussion of kindergartners and TK not having online. They would have a packet of some sort. Are there any other grades doing packets, or all of the other grades doing online?
You know, there are some packets that are being used right now. I would have to ask site principals if you want to chat in if there's anything different than what I'm saying. This is the time to do it. But they are, aside from having regular meetings with the staff online as well, the principals are hosting the Google Hangout or one of the video chats, and then lining up those assignments with the teachers. There are some packets, I believe, that have gone out. I think it's going to be collect them later, but we're trying to get them out. We're working on how those will get distributed. Robert Down, for example, had packets available at the front of the school at the door, and parents can pick some of those up. And teachers are all making direct contact with all their students and keeping them up to speed as well. And I'm looking online right now, and it looks like checked in with all the teams today. It looks like all but 3 or 4 in each class have checked in. Teachers are adjusting and making it happen, so it looks like we're doing pretty well there. And there you go.
Great, thank you. Any other questions from the board?
Are you going to push out the Facebook information?
Yes, sir. We're going to get that going. It looks like somebody, Mr. Binder, somebody already pushed it out. And I wish I could name, I'm not sure the name of it right now.
It's out on this chat room. It's going to be emailed to people who are not online.
Correct, yeah. We'll get that.
Is that going to be a private page?
I believe it's going to be public. I don't know the answer, but I bet you Director Binder will say so in just a moment. I know, Mr. McKee, yes.
It's a public page.
Open comments from everyone.
Yep. We'll do the best we can to respond. It's not going to be our priority on this. Right now, the channels we have with our parents is working really well. We'll get to it as we can, for sure.
And it's not a matter of response. It's a matter of when we open a Facebook page for another organization, we get comments from a guy telling us what we're doing wrong from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And, well, that's interesting. I really care about these people. It's hard. I do have another comment. There are tons of these items from the California Department of Education. There's 7, 8, 9. I don't know how many directives that you have. And I pulled a couple of them, and really, again, want to congratulate you and the staff and teachers on essentially meeting the directives that have been put out on distance learning, in school, meals here. And really, there's a lot of information being pushed out to you, and following it, keeping up, and very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want a couple questions, but a comment first or two. Again, just to reiterate, I really appreciate the work everyone's doing, teachers and administration. I think in times of fear and uncertainty, communication is key, and you all are doing a really good job at that. I just want to encourage you to keep that up, the emails, the texts, the Zoom conferencing. I know it's a little rocky the first time around, but I think everybody's doing a good job and figured it out. It's great to hear you're standing up a Facebook page. I know I've heard from a lot of parents, you know, they like Facebook, they like Nextdoor, they like those sort of other multimodal communication
option, so I'm really glad to hear you're doing that. I was glad you commented on the younger ages, the sort of TK, first and second grade. It seemed like, when my kids were going through school, they didn't do as much on the computer back then at those ages. So it's good to hear that we're doing more written things. Because I know some parents have real concerns about kids at that age having a lot of screen time. So I'm glad to hear you're looking for ways to do that and encourage us to still do that. If I could just ask, it's great about the meals too. I think that's fantastic. School, one of the things I've learned being on the board for a little while now is just how integral schools are to the kids' lives. And I know in times like this, you can't replace those social interactions. Kids really treasure in school. And you haven't had time to think about this, I realize, and focus more on the academics. I'd just like to encourage us as we go through this, because we don't know how long it's going to last. If there's ways that we as a district or you as administration or teachers can think about, the sort of emotional well-being of the kids as well, if we could think about that. So.
If I may, I can give you a little bit on that. That's great, so thank you for that point. One of the directives from the state is that we need to continue to the extent that we can providing social services. So our counselors, as well as our school nurse, Nurse Katrina Powley, are on call and helping to provide services to the extent that they can, but monitoring all of that, again, within capacity. And they've already helped some of the families directly with some of those matters. And so we definitely have that in mind already. I can't say enough about the counseling staff too. They're kind of, they're oftentimes very quiet in the background, but they're doing so much and they've taken that charge to heart. I think one of the things that we have asked our teachers, and we've mentioned to our parents as well, there's a lot happening out there. I mean, people are working massively hard, but we're also trying to kind of feed it out slowly. We're trying to make sure a little bit out, make sure it's working, a little bit out, make sure it's working. And that, so we're starting at a slower pace intentionally and building up as we go. And that's part of the reason we just don't want to overwhelm the kids. We don't want to overwhelm our students into right out the gate. And I think our classroom teachers are being sensitive to that and using that kind of feedback loop to help kind of pace things. And so, kudos to the teachers for being able and willing to do that, and they're doing a great job. And I think that addresses some of the social emotional pieces. You'll also, I think, see more and more on the updates. We're starting to include more links now to some of the social services, Monterey 211, Dial 211, some of those pieces. We're going to start including more of those as well. So great suggestions, and I think we're on our way, and we'll keep improving.
The one thing that I talked to Ralph a little bit about this is that been on my mind a lot, right? There's a lot on everybody's mind, and this is just, I don't think there's one person in this nation right now that this is not affecting. So, but the seniors are really on my mind. So I don't know what that's going to look for them and how they're dealing with it, but I know if I was a senior, it would be really bothering me. So I hope that we can do that and do something for them, that they won't have only this memory for their senior year.
So, Principal Roach and Principal Bell and I kind of had some informal conversations about that. And, Principal Bell, this is his last year too, is retiring. And so we're trying to figure out what we can do. We really do want to do something special. I think we're going to try to print the graduation and the scripts that we hand out to parents. We're still going to try to print those out anyway, sort of the keepsake. And the worst case scenario, maybe we try to do some kind of informal-ish ceremony at the beginning of next year or something for our seniors. It's a little retroactive, but whatever we can do. We're going to figure something out. So thank you.
Brian, do you have any?
I was wondering if Mr. Mahey could address this. I'm confident it's already been taken care of, but I think some people might want to know. For some of the families that are in need of extra devices, I've noticed comments somewhere or another over the weekend that some of the families that are in need actually have more than one student. So do we have that addressed where we're able to provide multiple devices in some situations?
Yes, the tech survey that went out originally to families was designed for that specifically so that we can gather information on not only which families needed a Chromebook device, but how many they would. We can continue to push that out. We would prefer that families still use that survey so that we can identify those families. We've been, Donna Johnson here at the high school has been here on and off as needed to provide Chromebooks. Even when we've had Chromebooks that were working when they left and now they're malfunctioning, to swap those out. So we have a pretty fast turnaround time. But that tech survey that went out to the families that we can continue to push out to them is going to be the best way for us to identify those families that will need not only one Chromebook. If they have 2 students, if they need 2 Chromebooks and things like that. What we've noticed is that families who may have had a family device and didn't originally need a Chromebook are now being forced to use that device so that they can work from home or remotely as well. So now they're going back to the survey to be able to request a Chromebook for their students. And we will continue to make that available. So that tech survey is going to be the best way for them to get that information to us.
If I may, Mr. McGill, just because this may be helpful for folks, just to reiterate, if people are having problems with their technology at home, like the Chromebook that they checked out or whatever, who would be the best people for them to contact? What's the channel for them to go?
So the best person for parents to contact, obviously first is the site technicians. That's going to be the first line of defense to be able to troubleshoot any devices. Those site techs are now able to remote in most cases to be able to try to troubleshoot, and anything from there they can elevate to myself so that I can try to push out. Anything having to do with the curriculum online, the instruction piece is being handled directly by Matthew Binder and Andrew Bradley to be able to help out teachers on that side of it. But the hardware issues that parents or students may be facing could be directed initially to their corresponding site tech and then myself to be overseeing that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
With that question following up, do we have translation available to someone who may have problems with devices? English is not their first language. Or are you good?
If any family who needs help in Spanish or Portuguese, I can gladly take that on myself.
Okay.
No language we speak outside of English.
We also, just in the meal distribution, we're trying to take that into account. So I know Mr. McKeo helped out with Arkwright one day. I was at Robert Down. I think we had someone at the high school. So within the schedule, we're trying to make sure someone there also speaks at least Spanish, the second language, are there as well. So thank you for asking the question.
Trustee Dawson, I keep forgetting to ask you if you have comments out of sight, out of mind. Do you have any comments or questions for Dr. Porras on this item?
We're trying to unmute right now.
Yeah.
Hold on, if you're talking, we can't hear you. We're trying to unmute you.
While they're doing that, I just want to comment as well.
Okay.
Chat,
Okay. Sorry, Ralph.
Thank you for sending those comments. Go ahead, Christy.
All right. I have, I've tried to unmute myself a couple of times, and I don't know who's behind this, but there's a little note that says you may not unmute yourself. So thank you, Debbie, for checking in with me. I guess I need to wave or something so that I don't get lost in the masses, because I can't talk unless someone comes over and pushes a button and lets me do the roll call or something. But at this time, thank you for checking in. I'm great.
I won't forget you from now on, I promise. Okay. Discussion. Are there any additional comments from the public that we haven't seen?
There are a few that I think I'll just for public comment that I'll try to burn through pretty quickly. From Gary Serpa, she says, "I'm so very proud of our district. Everyone is working so hard. We're feeding kids. We're getting kids computers. Our teachers are working long hours, making sure all kids are accounted for. Counselors are doing meetups with kids. Our spit teachers are dropping 180 headsets off at houses and differentiating instruction. Our music teachers sending tunes to practice. If a kid needs something, we have a person working on it. It's absolutely amazing, but it is hard. Everyone is who's working very hard, and we are also tired. And shout out to Andrew Bradley and Terry Parker and all our tech folks helping and our people feeding kids. Give me a second here. Additional comment from Shannon McCarty. We would like the community to know that teachers are working very hard and many more hours than typical days. Please remind the community that we are going slowly. Mary Ann Ford had commented, my students appreciate the slower pace to begin and time to talk with classmates on Hangout. Sarah Chavez commented, Ivy Pond has been amazing with her group of students. She has connected with them and made them laugh. It's clear she has worked on establishing a positive relationship with her students prior to distance learning. Hats off to her. And from Brian Wood, has the district been getting direction from Monterey County Office of Education and or the Monterey County Emergency Operations Center? Does PGUSD have a rep at the Emergency Operations Center now that the level of emergency has been raised to the current level? Thank you. Keep up the great work.
Would you like me to address
Dr. Porras, would you like to respond?
I'm absolutely happy to address that. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, I'm that representative, and so mostly because I'm been charged by the board for the resolutions we made at the emergency meeting to make decisions on behalf of the board in the event of emergencies. All of the 24 superintendents in Monterey County are meeting every day as well via Zoom, and so we're trying to make as many consistent decisions as we can so that the public is seeing consistent decision making across the district and across the county, which really helps all of us a lot. We are getting the MCOE's communication officer, Jessica Hall, who is just remarkable. She is feeding us all the information as we go. She was the one that just told me about the lockdown information, for example. We are also on a WhatsApp page, so we're getting constant feeds as well. So I'm definitely in touch with all of those people, and we are getting play-by-plays 3 times a day at least. And I have my phone on all the time, so if something comes up, we're getting it. And my executive assistant, Mandy, has also been instrumental in getting those communications out to the public because I can't always be right at the computer, and she's taking good care of that too. So that's who's there. And if there's something that the community feels like needs to get communicated upwards up the chain, I will say please do that sparingly. But if there is an emergency issue that's of concern, I can certainly help pass that along. Just send me an email. I've already done that a few times.
Thank you.
One last comment that I see here. I have 2 requests in effort to prioritize work moving forward as this drags on longer. That being critical versus important versus optional. And secondly, it's easy to rely too much on technology given circumstances. Alternatives, for example, outdoor options would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can we move on forward? Okay, I'm going to move on to our action discussion items. The first item is the 2020-21 Monterey Peninsula College and Pacific Grove Unified School District College and Career Access Pathways Partnership Agreement, and that is Dr. Mr. Is he online or?
While we're getting him online there, we may want to just go ahead and start if there are any questions on the item, and then we can certainly have Mr. Steinbeck answer those if you like.
You guys have you read this? Do you have any questions or concerns or no? Brian?
I had a comment. I'm glad to see it on here. I love these things.
Okay, very good. Mr. Steinbeck, do you have anything else to add?
Hi, everyone. This is interesting. Yeah, this has become routine. This passed the MPC's board about 3 weeks ago, and I was there with several other administrators. I'd say we're on par with the other schools around us as far as how many dual enrollment classes we're offering. Save Marina High School, who I've been in contact contact with quite a bit. They're offering dual enrollment courses for almost every single department, history, math, and we're going to be looking into that. Unfortunately, not next school year because the 13 dual enrollment classes that are on this CCAP are naturally for next school year, but for the 21-22 school year. I'll point out that out of the 13 dual enrollment classes, 2 of these are computer networking classes that are taught by John Olson on our site, but he's an MPC employee, so it's no cost to the district. 2 of the classes are photo classes taught by our own Celia Laura, and 9 classes will be taught by Jen Erickson for culinary classes. She's really spearheaded this whole thing. She's actually the coordinator in helping me with this process. Yeah, you guys probably looked through the fiscal impact. It's really outstanding. We'll be getting roughly $21,000 back from MPC. On page 13 of the CCAP agreement, it goes into the reimbursement process between MPC and our district. We just received a check from them 3 weeks ago for a little over $10,000 as a result of Jen Erickson and Celia Laura's fall semester dual enrollment classes this year, and that'll be continuing next year. And since we increased our dual enrollment classes by 4 from 9 to 13, it's good. It's really helping out the district. It's a win-win.
Thank you. Okay, so I also don't want to forget Chrissy, and you guys have to switch back and forth, huh? So while they're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and allow anybody that might have a public comment to go ahead and go ahead and send your comments to us. We're going to get Trustee Dawson if she has any comments or questions, and then we'll go to public comments if we receive any.
All right, I am once again unmuted. I think what Shayna's speaking of is fabulous, that connection, and to have our efforts educationally seconded and working in conjunction with the college, I think it's outstanding. So the money is wonderful and the exposure for the students is phenomenal. So I'm very pleased. Thank you so much.
Are there any comments so far?
Yes, right. From someone who goes by teacher, I would like to see us look into a partnership for MPC courses as Carmel, Monterey, Marina, and other surrounding districts offer U.S. history and other core classes. Will we be doing this?
That's certainly the plan. It takes a lot of work between our site and MPC to get these going. But, you know, I certainly one of our employees in the social studies department could certainly start doing that. And that's the plan for 21-22, to be sure.
Yeah, Matt had added a comment in here as well that one of the issues that had arisen was that MPC required a master's in instruction. Did I interpret that right, Dr. Forrest?
Yes, it's just a reading this little comment, a master's degree in the area of instruction. Most teachers have a master's in education rather than a specific subject.
If I could chime in here with that, if a teacher has history and teaching advanced placement courses, they will usually waive the master's requirement.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't quite catch that.
Of course. If a teacher is taught X amount of years, I want to say it's 5 years of advanced placement courses, they will waive the requirement for a master's.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
I do not see any additional.
Thank you. So this is an action item, and we are approving this program as presented. Is there any motion?
Seconded.
Motion to accept the MPC PGUSD college and career
Seconded.
Okay, we'll go back to public comment.
You're more than welcome to take a second and go back to public comment.
Okay, so just for the record, John Path made the motion to approve this, and Christy Dawson seconded, and we, before we do a vote, we're gonna go back to a public comment.
I think we're putting Ani on mic.
If Director Silva wants to type it in as well, that's fine. We can see it on the chat, but she probably wants to speak.
Okay, no, I just wanted to say that can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to say that the better opportunities that we give our students at the high school to have college credits, the better. That's all I just wanted to say. The more that we seek to do this and have core content classes as counting towards college credit. I mean, when you think of AP is the same thing. So if we can have more of those that are content area classes like English and social studies, and students can, and we clearly have the students that can do that, then we need to provide that. That's all I have to say. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, we're gonna do a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Crandall?
Aye.
Trustee Dawson?
Aye.
Trustee Pass?
Aye.
Trustee Swanson?
Aye.
Trustee Walton?
Aye.
Thank you, passes 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Stenbeck. Okay, next item is adoption of resolution number 1045, supporting the 2020 U.S. Census.
This was brought forward at the request of a member of the public. And so you see the resolution before you. I'm sure you'll have to read it. It's there for the public to comment. I do want to just make one comment that one of the sections in there indicates that we're going to be cooperating with the MCOE in activities that they're going to be presenting regarding the census. A lot of that has just come to a screeching halt. So we're not getting much of anything from them right now on this. And when things begin to normalize a little bit in this new abnormal situation, we'll continue to get some more stuff from them, more materials, and then we'll go ahead and kind of move forward with it. So but I do want to make that comment that the resolution was created prior to our current situation. However, it still applies, and we'll continue to do what we can with materials in hand.
Thank you. And we're really just, this resolution is just supporting the census in general, right? Are there any comments or questions from the board? If this is a very long resolution, and I'm going to choose not to read it, if that's okay with the board. For the public, if you are interested in this resolution, it is online for our agenda packet for tonight. But again, this is just the board saying basically that we support the U.S. Census. So with that said, we'll go ahead and open it to public comment, if there's any public comment. Just allow 30 seconds. In Jeopardy music.
Correct. Any comments, we're opening up to any public comment about the census item that is on the agenda right now. I should note too that there is, I'm looking through the chat window, not every message is being read because there's just some of it is chatter between people that are online. So I'm going to open, I'm going to interpret some of these, or I'm going to choose to not read every one if it feels like it's not it seems like it's not a public comment.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to the board for a motion, please.
Make a motion to adopt resolution number 1045 supporting the 2020 U.S. Census.
Seconded. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. They unmute me. I get very excited. Seconded.
So that was John Papp that made the motion, Debbie Crandall second, and roll call vote, please.
Trustee Crandall?
Aye.
Trustee Dawson?
Aye.
Trustee Papp?
Aye.
Trustee Swanson?
Aye.
Trustee Walton?
Aye.
It passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is contract for the audit of the district financial statements. Mrs. Jen Bid.
Thank you, President. Just real quickly, this is a one-year contract with Bailey, which merged with PGUSD last year. They finished the audit for the school district for 2018-19. So this is for the 1920. The interim work will start next month, and then we'll finish in October. And we will go out to request for proposals, very likely around October, for the 2021 and beyond. Typically, when we go out for RFP, we're going to ask for a 3-year contract, just for a number of reasons. Especially if it's a new firm, it's very difficult to work with us, and then for them to get acquainted, with our materials and such, and then we're going to change firm back again. There's no very, very in terms of industry average, it's about 3 years. But this is unusual, it's 1 year, because it's the contract for last year already expired. I just open up for any questions.
Any questions from the board?
So to be just perfectly clear, we are considering opening up in the fall for a new audit firm.
Right, that's for 2021. This is for the 1920.
I'm curious as to, are there any requirements that we change every certain number of years, or?
That's a good question. Not really. It's just more professional, in terms of just to go out. If we do go RFP, we do not have to change firm. That's the standard just said. It's actually a local decision. We just believe that probably just good for it, just at least to see what's out there. Not just, we believe all the audit firms, they have to apply to the auditing standards. All the firms that I'm aware of, they're all very good. But also just to see if it's, in terms of price, if they're all good and yet one is lower than, than what we're paying, something for us to consider.
And are there criteria beyond just price when you're going up for the RFP that determine who we use?
I'm sorry.
Are there criteria beyond price as we send it out?
Absolutely. It's going to be a template. It's a several pages of documents.
Christy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Any questions regarding the audit?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
John Walton? Okay, thank you. I'll just go ahead and make a motion. I make a motion to approve the contract for the audit of the district financial statements. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing so good too. Okay.
You can always go back and take a first and
Can't kiss me.
go back as well.
Okay.
Either way.
We do have a motion made by David Crandall and seconded by John Pat. But we will go to public comment now on this contract for the audit for the district financials to see if there's any questions. We'll allow about 30 seconds. And then music next time. It's gonna be Holland Oak, just see.
It won't be anytime soon, will it? Well, unless it's from Daryl's house. It might be a Holland Oaks concert for probably till mid-June. I don't see any public comments.
No? Okay. So we're coming back to the board. We have a motion and a second, and roll call vote, please.
Trustee Crandall?
Aye.
Trustee Dawson?
Aye.
Trustee Pat?
Aye.
Trustee Swanson?
Aye.
Trustee Walton?
Okay, passes 5-0. Last action item is board calendar, future meetings. Are there any changes to this calendar?
There actually is, only because of the venue. So our dates, and we will obviously be changing some of those items as we need to shuffle things around. Certainly, again, we'll do our best as staff to try and pre-approve some of these contracts and bring it back to you for ratification, just to make it a little easier. However, I say that we'd like the board to allow us to return the meeting back to all tech support there. At this point, the Brown Act, we have received 2 orders. The most recent order now of the Brown Act allows us to essentially close the meeting to in-person public, but still allowing for public comment via the Zoom during this time of emergency. And so the public can still watch it, still comment, but in order to follow the executive order, basically public. As you can see, there's nobody here for the public except staff. That would allow us to keep our community safer and still allow for the change in the public. We would be able to do that from the Jesse Gray room. And indeed, if trustees, as Trustee Dawson is doing, you can also telephone in. This is our first run. We're going to get better. And but I would like us to change the venue back there, absent the audience. We'll send a posting out and let the audience know, the community know that at this point, due to safety issues, we're going to leave it strictly on. A lot of agencies are doing that. So I request through this action that the board allow us to do that, but we'll continue all the communication to the extent that we can.
I think that is a perfect idea. Let us move back to Jesse Gray. I am concerned about April 2 in general. Are we going back to regular classes, in which case that please. I'm not sure if we can move the date, but April 2 is 2 weeks from today, which is 1 day before we shut down for spring break, but officially we are moving back into classrooms on the 1st.
Aren't we under shelter in place order through April 8th?
The school year.
Right. Well, the April 8th date is the date set by the county. Stay closed for students on our campuses until the 8th of April. We have moved that as a district to the 13th because the spring break is right there on the 8th. So our tentative return date is April 13th. So at this point, Ms. Ackerman has the agenda smoothly moving forward. We're prepping our items, continue to do business as usual, and we'll adjust as needed. So while I certainly appreciate giving us the flexibility, I think we'll be ready to continue the meetings as usual.
Okay, thank you. My misunderstanding, I missed the date on my calendar, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other comments from the board? Christy?
No.
I make a motion to approve work calendar, future meetings as presented with.
Second.
Okay. David Crandall made a motion. I'm sorry, I forgot public comment again. Brian Swanson seconded, and now it's open for public comment before we take a vote.
So far, nothing other than John.
I'll speak up. Well, are we going to have this says the LCAP by April 2. It's a big document for.
It's a review, and so we probably are not going to have, probably not based on what's going on right now. We put that in there in the event that we had more updated information. So it's a space holder. We likely will not. But if knowing Director Silnar, she probably has a ace up her sleeve and she'll have something. But I would say don't expect it at this point. Do the best we can.
Any public comment other than that?
We're good to go ahead.
Okay. I'll bring it back to the board for a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Crandall?
Aye.
Trustee Dawson?
Aye.
Trustee Paff?
Aye.
Trustee Swanson?
Aye.
Trustee Walton?
Thank you. Passes 5-0. So we are now back to our information discussion item D, which is the 2019-20 and 2021 budget discussion. So I'll just take it to Mrs. Ken Bindip.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to be just sitting down here because just a little bit more space here so I can spread out the pages. Holland is a little bit different than a Jesse Gray conference room. So this is probably the first step into discussion of producing a 2020 and 2021 budget. And we just laid out here a few key assumptions. Obviously, you know, one can look at it different ways, but these are the components within building the budget. The two major equations would be, one of them is revenue, the other one is expenditures, right? How you get a balanced books is you have the revenue projection, for us, the primary source is property tax, and the other one is expenditures. The biggest chunk of that is salaries and benefits. Benefits as in statutory benefits, as well as district's contribution to health and welfare, which is capped at a certain limit for different bargaining groups. So the first one is about the property tax. Before on page 94, it's in board packet. I want to draw attention to the 2021, the property tax. The rate has been changed from 4% to 4.50%. And that was based on a conversation and presentation by Mr. Benini, the county assessor. We had many discussions. So this is the latest. And again, this is actually in February. Now that conditions have changed, we do not know at this point whether this 4.5% will stay. Benini has always said we won't know until August. This is just a projection. This is the best estimate. If you recall, he was pretty confident in February, and which in the past it worked. But now, you know, as we all know, conditions have changed. Whether this will impact his projection for next year is anybody's guess. So I just want to point it out. So with that assumption that we put in here, we projected the estimate, which is positive, that for next year and then for the out years, and the percentage of the unrestricted reserve for next year stand at 14.0, and then the second budget is 16.7. Now, we have not settled for in terms of salary increases for 1920 yet. So anything, if we do settle, this will impact, the fund balance. Not just current year 1920, but you just have to compound it 3 times. Whatever it is, the dollar amount, just multiply it 3 times and take it out from the reserve. That's probably the simplest, the easiest way. You know, of course, we have to do some complex calculations, but probably that's the way the global way of looking at it. The other assumption that we look at, that we have here, is the CBAS enrollment. It does not impact us drastically in terms of apportionment from the state, but it does impact us in other ways. Now, apportionment, I just want to clarify that. We always say we don't get any revenue from ADA. That's not true. Not only from compulsory education, but also we do get, like, from the state one-time funds, but also lottery. We do get lottery for textbooks, you know, instructional materials, custom materials, but also we get unrestricted lottery money, which we use to pay for our utilities and other, you know, other needs. So at this point, in terms of enrollment, we're projecting based on cohort survival, meaning we just look at kindergarten level this year, and then project it into a first grade into the next year. Of course, then how we, you know, what do we project for the kindergarten entries for next year? We're monitoring it very closely, and we work very closely with the school sites. Packets went out. So now with activities that's going on right now, we have not haven't had a chance to check back yet where we stand in terms of the packets that have gone out for kindergarten registrations. So in terms of projection for next year, we stand at 1,968, which is very close to what we currently have for this year. There's just a slight drop, about 7 students, but we don't know at this point. This is just projection. Now, this will be key for us to give money to allocate discretionary funds for pupil to the school sites, because we're in the process of reviewing the budgets and building the budget with them. So they need a source of income to decide how they're going to allocate the funds at their school site. Specifically, for example, the high school, they allocate by department. So they'll need to know how much they'll be getting. It's $140 per pupil. At this point, we're giving 97%. And then we look at CBES in October, we'll adjust that. When the actual numbers come in either lower or higher, we'll adjust the school site, so each individual school site's allocation. So that's in terms of CBES enrollment. The next major topic, of course, is staffing. This is just a staffing by location for 1920, which includes all the funds, not just general fund. Is on page 97, the board packet. Includes adult ed and includes school service as well. At this point, we're rolling, pretty much projecting the FTEs from 1920 to 2021, barring board's direction or directive in reducing, increasing, or status quo in terms of number of FTEs. The board has directed that will not fill one of the kindergarten's position at this point, so there's going to be one less FTE than 1920. It's our teaching force. This is what we have in terms of building for 2021. For classified positions, we pretty much projecting the same level as we have for 2021 at this point. And I'm going to pause. I think there's a lot of information here before I go to 4 through 8, or should I just proceed? Madam President. Is that a question at this point?
I do not have any questions. Not anyone else.
Go ahead. Okay, thank you. So I'll continue on. Okay. Now the next one is we put a second column. It should be into the order here. Right there on page 98. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong page. It's actually STIRS and PERS. This is teachers, state teachers retirement system and public employee retirement system. The STIRS, obviously the credentialed employees, and the PERS will support staff. There's service workers, maintenance, custodians, clerks, office staff, and so on and so on. Those who do not have teaching credentials. So those are the rates that you see on page 98. The first one is just show, had it not been, the state had not increased the students' contribution rate required of employer, such as Pacific Grove Unified School District, it would be at 8.25%. That was the rate in 2013-14. That was the first time starting to increase. So for next year, at this point, it's set at 18.4%. So, and then the next time you can see additional costs, meaning if not for this cost, we would have to pay $243,000 additional between the cost of 8.25 and then the cost of the 18.4%. Now, the same logic applies to PERS. Is 11.441 because we pushed out only 2 decimal places here. So that was the rate again. It was back in 2013-14. Now this next year is going to be 22.8. It's actually, now you can see PERS rate has surpassed STIRS now because the PERS rate is set by the PERS board, and in the past, the rationale is that the investment returns were not as great, so the PERS board decided to increase the rate. This is what the rate is set. Normally, we won't know for a fact. This is going to be exact rate until around May, when the May revise comes in. But this is what is at least given to LEAs. That we'll use when we build the budget for 2021. We would know that's how the process works. If the rate does change in May, whether we will have enough time to adjust for budget adoption in June, it just, it depends. But that's how the process works, at least in the last few years. And then you can see the cost difference between the two rates is almost $460,000. So between the two, as you can see, because the Stern PERS rates beyond our control, one is legislatively imposed, which is the STRS, the other PERS imposed by the board. That's almost $700,000, meaning our budget, you can just say our $700,000, something outside of us telling us this is how much you have to pay. Taken out off the top, this is the bill that we have to pay before we can even, take care of our own bills, paying expenditures. So that's STRS and PERS. Next one is healthcare. This is just showing that what we know for now, which is the rate for this year 2020, which was set in October 2019. We do not know yet for 2021, but this rate for 2020 is the last half of the 1920 fiscal year, and it's averaging, as you can see, is 12.10%. What we know for a fact, though, has the rates increases have been going, it's been going up every year. As you can see, the history here has not been going down. Now, given now with the U.S. UCLA economists have been saying that we're officially in a recession, whether this, all those insurance healthcare premiums and then subsequently the rates, whether will be lower than the double digits or not for next year, we do not know at this point. We are part of the consortium MISIC. Every CBO is part of the full board, and then within the full board, there is a small team, which is the executive board. So we've been, a lot of conversations, monitoring and working also with the third-party administrator, which is Kina to MISIC. So all this hopefully will come to fore soon. So that's healthcare, and the second column. So it's a lot of data, page 100, 101, 102. We're projecting this point 1.57. The rate, the second column for 1920 is actual. We don't have to project because we're live, we're dealing with actual people. But we're using the 1819 into 1920, using the 1.57%. If we do have definitive retirees before we finalize our budget, hopefully we can have that by early May. We still have time to adjust it. If not, we will not have time because we really have to build this packet, in order to meet the legal timeline of early June for the first reading. So that's in progression of adjustment, but we can always adjust the budget. In the last 2 years, we have adjusted our budget in September. Last year, either September or October after we have closed the books, and also after we have put in, we have already finished with all our new hires. And that time we'll adjust as well. And then we do it before the first interim. So the board, you have time to work direction and also for us to reflect whether assumptions, anything that we need to do or not. So there are many junctures throughout the year for us to adjust the budget. Again, this is just a first shot at it, and we'll see where we land. And then the next page 103, which I talked about earlier, the site allocations, the 97% at this point stands at $271,134, and is listed by sites. You can see each site how much you get. This is where the site secretaries and the site administration work with us, the business office. We meet one-on-one, but now we have to do Google Hangouts. They will give us line item budget. This is how we build the budget to the fiscal officer, and then we'll build a report to the state. That's how the process works. And then the last part is property tax, which we talked about first. Thank you.
Any questions from the board?
Two questions. Your JPA with McSig, you actively looking for a different insurer at this point?
The not the JPA, but for us, we have done that. Teachers union and also CACA have provided some names, but we just haven't had time yet to really gather the group. Now that with the group, we have to figure out how we can convene. In the pipeline, we do have one broker who is interested in providing us some options, but the earliest will not be for 21 calendar year, because if we do, we have to tell MISIC if we're going to not join the group, we have to give notice by December of this calendar year for the 21 school year, calendar year. So the earliest for us would be the 21-22 fiscal year or school year.
We see actually that joint powers agreement by December this year, 2020.
That's correct. If we do not want to be part of these.
9 months in which to try and develop a different solution and see if there's something that's a little less expensive. Although probably with fewer options, which would be. The second question is, do we have any indication at all, and I don't think it's possible that you have this, what a 1/3 drop does to your STRS PERS rate in the out years?
I'm sorry, the proposition?
Pardon me, a 1/3 drop in the market from 29,000 to 19,000.
We do not know at this point. Like I said earlier, whether it would impact to the insurance companies, and then subsequently with the premiums, we do not know at this point. I mean, anything else, again, it's a guess, who knows?
It wasn't clear, I apologize, I interrupted. I'm asking actually about the STRS PERS arrangement, right? If the market has dropped by 1/3, their income has dropped, and we have no indication whatsoever, you have nothing at all at this point from them.
I apologize, I didn't catch the question. Yeah, STRS is because by set by the legislature, we do not, we know for a fact the rate that we look at earlier will stay. Now with PERS, we do not know because it's based on investment returns. Am I correct? Is there any question?
That is the question, and you've answered it. We don't have any indication. If it's set by market returns just went down significantly. And as you say, we're going into a recession, which makes the out years not 1920, but 2021 and 21-22 even harder to predict.
That's correct. Because even for 2021, the 22.8% set by the board and PERS board, that may change. The only thing that's static right now as firm is the STRS at 18.4% for us, for our STRS, because it's set by the legislature. But PERS, you are correct. It may change.
Not so much of a question as I guess a few comments. One, I really think to Trustee Pat's point, we're in a real untested waters when it comes to economic stability right now. With all the fear around COVID and what the markets are doing, I think we got to be really cautious when we talk about the budget and previous decisions we've made and ideas we had about what our budget was and maybe in the future. I think it may change in the next few months. I know in the county I work for, which is considered one of the wealthier counties in the state, we just decided to basically forego any budget process for the coming fiscal year and repass our budget from last year, assuming that we don't know enough to make any real hard decisions. And so I'm not saying we should do the same thing here at all, but I think that's an indication just of how much uncertainty there is and how much doubt there is about knowing and being able to predict your point. Assistant Superintendent about making a decision by May. I think it's going to be pretty difficult to, even in May, have a very good read on what the next 12 or 16 months may look like. So I know you alluded to some decisions the board's made or seem to have made in the past about how to save money and reallocate those funds. I think we're going to have to revisit all those decisions in the coming months and see what makes the best sense. I will just say, you know, I know there's a lot of fear right now with staff at every level about what's going on with the economy. And, you know, I know it's always been my observation being part of this board that, you know, we have to do things strategically, but, you know, we always try to maintain a stable workforce. So I'm hopeful that we can continue to do that in the future.
Christy, do you have any questions about the budget?
No, as always, Song, I really appreciate all the effort that's here. One of the things that I do note as we look so hard at our monies and how to support our teachers and keep ourselves fiscally healthy is that we have stayed very constant with our student population, but it does appear we've added additional staff over the years. And I just think that's something for us to keep in mind as we move forward in these times.
Thank you. Thank you, Song. Are there any public comments on this item?
Give a beat for anybody that wants to type something in. Also, I want to point out I think at one point Shannon McCarty wanted to speak. Shannon, can you just send us a note if you were still interested in doing that? Because we did not come back to at one point during the COVID discussion, during that update.
Oh, she wanted to actually speak during the COVID?
Yeah.
Okay. Once we get through, we have one more item. No comments yet?
I see no additional public comments yet. Shannon, do you want to be unmuted and speak at this moment, or are you good? You do. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and just move on from, is she asking about the budget discussion?
No, we didn't bring it back to her during COVID, I think is what.
Okay, I apologize. Okay, so this is information discussion on the budget. So we're going to move on from that. And before we go on to our last item, we'll go ahead and allow the one public member to speak about the COVID. Shannon McCarty.
Okay. So we can't hear very well on your end. So we can hear when Christy Dawson talks, but when it comes back to you guys, we lose a lot of the audio. So I feel like I've missed some of it, and then I just heard my name. So I'm not even sure what you said before that part because it cuts in and out. So what are you asking me about budget?
I apologize for not going back to you during the COVID discussion because you want to make a comment. So we're coming back to that. If you still have a comment you'd like to make.
Oh, okay. I've just had several teachers ask me to comment about the workload that we've had to engage in and that it's been really difficult for us. Our learning curves are very difficult, just as like the parents are learning, new ways to teach. Ours are very difficult. And so I've had so many people ask me that I would make a public comment on that today. And so that's really what I wanted to make known to the board is that the teachers are working so hard, almost harder than we work in a regular day teaching your kids. It's that difficult for us. And so we just want the community to know that we're not just working from 9 to 11 and 2 to 3, which are our online office hours, that we're working well into the night and very early in the morning trying to make sure that everyone is getting the information that they need and getting the skills that they need. So I just wanted to say that part to add it on public comment that the teachers are feeling very stressed and overwhelmed. And so we just wanted the board to know that we're looking, in the future as well, but just let the community know that we're going slow and we're trying to learn it and get it out to them the best that we can. And so I just wanted to say that for the teachers.
Okay. Well, thank you for saying that. And we speak for the board, but we really do appreciate the work that all the teachers are doing. This has not been easy to deal with at all aspects of life for all of us, and especially with you teachers, because you have to deal with each individual child and the parents and all that. So, I mean, if there's something else we could do, I think it's going to get better. But Dr. Porras did address that earlier. You may not have heard him, but Dr. Porras, would you like to respond to that?
No, I think we just reiterate and truly appreciate what Shannon is saying, and earlier just tried to express the same thing, that we definitely are trying to mete it out slowly as we all get used to what's happening. Number one, so that teachers get a good feel for it. Number two, that the students don't get overwhelmed. And absolutely, the teachers are working well beyond the office hours that we post just for feedback.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for attending the meeting and speaking on behalf of all the teachers. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to the future agenda items. Does the board want to add any items or have questions about any items?
I think we can take one off. You take the audio streaming off. I suspect we figured that out. We'll continue to figure that out. I don't think we need a special presentation on that.
No, sir. I think if anything, at some point, we'll just decide if we're going to make this a regular thing. But right now, it's going to be a regular thing. So if you like, we'll take that off.
I would just cross it off, and then we get the fewer things you have to focus on at this point.
If I may, Madam President, there are a couple items on there that probably are not as urgent or pressing, and it would be if we can either delay it or TBA or whatever for the time being would help our staff so that we're not we can keep our focus on the critical pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So if there are any there that the board feel like we can either just label TBA or move to a later date, that would be helpful. So if you could just review that lens for a moment, that would be great.
Well, the transportation and the dual language, I feel, can be postponed. Or do you have any other thoughts of that? If it's set for April 2nd.
I would be supportive of all three, the first three bullets, the transportation, dual language, and the developer fee, moving those out to a future date.
I prefer to keep the resolution 1037 on, John, simply because I think it's a 2-minute conversation. And we're very clear. It doesn't require any additional effort. You don't have to prepare anything beyond what's already out there.
Right.
I guess summary of what has been requested to be removed.
Basically, the first three items, not removed, postponed, because they have April dates on them.
Sorry, no objection to leaving them as just TBA and removing them from a specific date. I would be fine with that. First three items.
John would like to hear the developer one on the second. I'm supportive of that as well, but I mean, I didn't realize he wanted to hear it on that date. So, I mean, if he feels like there'll be a fast conversation, let's just leave it on the second.
I believe it'll be a fast conversation.
Let's just move TBA on the first two and leave the third one on the second, if that's okay with everybody.
Yes, absolutely. That'd be fine. Thank you. Appreciate the consideration.
And celebration, you just say that.
I didn't, but I'm okay with it.
Celebration is April 29th. I don't think we're going to be able to be around each other.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you that we're
Let's keep it TBA.
TBA. Thank you. So we are thinking about
so.
Maybe it's online.
For the public online, the board requested, we have a celebration for individuals that raise money and donated for the school district celebration plan in April. And we're going to have to postpone that as well.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Everything else is to be announced. Anything else anybody sees on here?
I think that's good. I think it's very helpful for us. We really appreciate that.
Great.
Well, along those lines, are we currently sending agendas to Chamber of Commerce, et cetera?
Yeah, we thank you for asking that question. Ms. Ackerman has a list of who we send out, both our newsletters as well as our agenda. There's a sort of press group and a city partners group. So yes, the chamber, Rotary, Kiwanis, all the whole groups. Ever since from the meeting at the high school at one time, we moved
And I will open this up to the public if there's any future agenda items from the public.
Not seeing anything yet.
Okay.
Not on this agenda item.
Mhm. Sure. So future agenda items, we are good with that. Before we adjourn, Dr. Parrish, you want to make a comment?
I guess one more time, just really wanted to reiterate thank you to everybody and the board included. I know Trustee Walton is dealing with all of his stuff up in San Mateo and scrambled back here to get to the meeting. That's just amazing. And I want to thank you, board, for your leadership and helping us get through this as well. In particular, Senor Mejia over there that was here to help us get through this, and Angela as well.
Yes.
And really remaining and making this happen. I'm just really super grateful.
Thank you.
Before we depart, the chat is a log, am I correct? Jonathan, actually, this is to you. The chat is currently a log.
Yeah.
Is that a posted log with the meeting at this point? This meeting has been recorded in its entirety, correct?
Yes, it's been recorded and I have copied the log should anybody want it.
Yes, those are now records we have.
Thank you.
Christy, before we adjourn, did you have anything else that you want to say or add?
Well, I'm able to see the comments also and track the meeting. I just think it was a very noble effort tonight. I know Mr. Mejia was quite helpful with me. And I do want to say that I think it's more critical than ever that the mics are used and people really articulate what they're saying, because on the picture you guys are very tiny, so we can't kind of gauge from your faces what's being said. So I just think next time to really focus on speaking clearly and into the mic so the people in the audience have the clearest possible notion of what what is being said. And I miss you. That's the final comment.
Thanks, Christy. And before we adjourn, Mr. Mejia, how many people do we still have online? I'm just curious.
We at 49 and we still have 44.
Okay. Well, with that, thank you everybody that's online for joining our meeting. We'd love to have 49 in our audience as well one day soon. With that, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Go home and be safe.
Start to-